Back to Payal. Payal, Prime Minister inside the temple, the rituals have begun?
Yes, at least that is what we are given to understand. The Prime Minister is inside the temple and the rituals will shortly begin. But you know, Anand, we are right outside waiting for the Prime Minister to finish rituals and then come out and then start addressing the people who've gathered here in huge numbers. But you know, one thing I must tell you, after having, covered the Prime Minister's programs across the entire country, there is hardly any place which is as disciplined as his home state, which is Gujarat. Over here, you see nobody's pushing each other. People are standing in queue patiently waiting for Prime Minister to really come. He's of course addressed here as Modi Dada, which is of course, elder brother over here, which is that kind of emotion. But you know, the carpet is packed here. This is Bhupendra Patel's carpet, if I remember clearly as well. So in a short while from now, the Prime Minister is expected to go and address the public meeting, but it's going to be a very, very personally, very, very happy occasion, very, very solemn occasion for the Prime Minister. This is not the first time that he's come to the Somnath temple. He would have come here a zillion times, if I may say so, but the Prime Minister is making this very, very special. 1,000 years since the first attack on the temple, 17 attacks sustained, and this is the sense of resilience that India and of course how we really display it as well, Anand.
True, fantastic coverage also, Payal. Thank you very much. And this is Prime Minister entering the temple premises. We will not have pictures of the sanctum. That's usually not done, even though he's the chairman of the trust there. Just that's the forefront where Nandi is facing Shiva. There is such an amazing connect of the story of Nandi, what a Nandi actually represents and who Mahadev actually is and Mahadev represents, and why there is all of these have passed down as stories. But yes, Payal. Yes, Payal.
Anand, one thing I wanted to tell you after having been to the Somnath temple multiple times, that if you want to offer, prayers, and if you want to actually do the darshan, it is divine to say the least. But if you want to, in fact, order the Rudra Abhishekam, that is the kind of technology which has been used as well. You pour water from where you are standing, and through technology you'll be able to see the water is falling on the shivling as well. So that's something which I have not seen in any other temple except Somnath.
Well, we can see that right now, even as you speak. You've just timed it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi offering water to the Shivlinga using, and there is a distance between the Shivlinga present there and where Prime Minister is. Rare visuals, and it's just amazing, this darshan. To see the Shivlinga, the energy there itself is divine, viewers, when you're present there inside the temple, and I'm sure many of our viewers would have visited there and felt the same. This is special because the water that's being offered here, the jala, will actually go down and there is a use of science, and then it will go down and then fall right on top of the Shivlinga away. But there is a distance that is now maintained between the Shivlinga itself and the Bhaktas, which is there even in a lot of the other Jyotirlingas, but here especially that this is being done. Puja Swamiji is with us. Puja Swamiji, you have spent your life on the banks of another important element of Bharat, that is Ma Ganga, who also flows from the Jata of Shiva as she descended upon Bhumi because of the force itself. And it was the Jatadhara who actually had to open his Jatas and then hold Ganga there. Now again, there is a thought process here, there is a science, and there is an element which was converted into a story in the Puranas. But Shiva, he is perhaps core to Bharatiya philosophy. Puja Swamiji, can you hear me? We are unable to hear you. I think your audio is on mute. Swamiji, please check. Swamiji himself was in dhyana, I believe. Swamiji, can you hear me, Swamiji? Do not want to speak when the puja is going on, so we will witness. Yeah, let's stay with the.
Om Bhadrang Karne Bhisngaye Tushtu Vaggushastanu Virvyase Mahideva Hitanjadayo Shataminnu Sharado Antideva जतरा नच्चकरा जरशन्तनूनाम् पुत्रासो जत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारीरिखतायुर्गन्तोः आदितिर्द्यौरादितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। आदौ कर्मारंभे शांति सूक्तं पठेत्। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृण्वये तुष्टुवागुंशस्तनूभिर्व्यासे महि देवहितं शतमिन्नु शरदो अन्ति देवा जतरा नच्चकरा जरशन्तनूनाम् पुत्रासो जत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारीरिखतायुर्गन्तोः आदितिर्द्यौरादितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। आदौ कर्मारंभे शांति सूक्तं पठेत्। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृण्वये तुष्टुवागुंशस्तनूभिर्व्यासे महि देवहितं शतमिन्नु शरदो अन्ति देवा जरशन्तनूनाम् पुत्रासो जत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारीरिखतायुर्गन्तोः आदितिर्द्यौरादितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा। आदितिः पञ्चजन आदितिर्जातमदितिर्जनित्वम् दीर्घायुत्वाय बलाय वर्चसे सुप्रजात्वाय सहसा देवताभ्यो नमः। वाणीरण्यगर्भाभ्यां नमः। शचीपुरन्दराभ्यां नमः। उमामहेश्वराभ्यां नमः। श्रीलक्ष्मीनारायणाभ्यां नमः। माता पितृ चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। जरशन्तनूनाम् पुत्रासो जत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारीरिखतायुर्गन्तोः आदितिर्द्यौरादितिरन्तरिक्षमदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा। आदितिः पञ्चजन आदितिर्जातमदितिर्जनित्वम् दीर्घायुत्वाय बलाय वर्चसे सुप्रजात्वाय सहसा देवताभ्यो नमः। वाणीरण्यगर्भाभ्यां नमः। शचीपुरन्दराभ्यां नमः। उमामहेश्वराभ्यां नमः। श्रीलक्ष्मीनारायणाभ्यां नमः। माता पितृ चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। जरशन्तनूनाम् पुत्रासो जत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्यारी। ओम विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णुराज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्य अद्य ब्रह्मणो द्वितीये परार्धे श्री श्वेतवाराह कल्पे कलियुगे कलि प्रथम चरणे भूरलोके भारतखंडे जम्बूद्वीपे आर्यावर्तांतर्गत ब्रह्मावर्तिक देशे संकल्पमस्तु। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णुराज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्य अद्य ब्रह्मणो द्वितीये परार्धे श्री श्वेतवाराह कल्पे कलियुगे कलि प्रथम चरणे भूरलोके भारतखंडे जम्बूद्वीपे आर्यावर्तांतर्गत ब्रह्मावर्तिक देशे संकल्पमस्तु। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णोराज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्य अद्य ब्रह्मणो द्वितीये परार्धे श्री श्वेतवाराह कल्पे कलियुगे कलि प्रथम चरणे भूरलोके भारतखंडे जम्बूद्वीपे आर्यावर्तांतर्गत ब्रह्मावर्तिकदेशे संकल्पमस्तु ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः श्रीमद्भगवतो महापुरुषस्य विष्णोराज्ञया प्रवर्तमानस्य अद्य ब्रह्मणो द्वितीये परार्धे श्री श्वेतवाराह कल्पे कलियुगे कलि प्रथम चरणे भूरलोके भारतखंडे जम्बूद्वीपे आर्यावर्तांतर्गत ब्रह्मावर्तिकदेशे संकल्पमस्तु ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ विष्णुर्विष्णुर्विष्णुः
Viewers, this portion of where the jalabhishekam is happening, this is a looped video, so that's why there is a repeat of the mantras or the ucharan, because that's the feed that we are getting from. So just wanting to let you know that from the time the Prime Minister offers the jalabhisheka, the third time, it's actually in a loop. But interestingly, as we were hearing the mantrocharana or the priest there reciting the mantras, Vishnu is invoked. There is a mention of the Bhagavatam, there is a mention of Lakshmi Narayan, and this is along with, of course, all the elements and along with invoking the elements to try and bless, while also mentioning where this is happening, in what kalpa, what yuga, what samaya, based upon the lunisolar Hindu Panchanga, and more importantly, the reference to Bharatakhanda, the Khanda or Jambu Dvipa, this entire region, as how it was known in the past as Itihasa, before it started being referred to as Sindhu Desh, and Sa became Ha, and then it became Al-Hind rather than Al-Sindh, and then the evolution of it being called Hindustan or Intu or India, and Indus, Sindhu becoming Indus because of the corruption of the language. But all of this is part of our knowledge system which we as a nation need to know. So these are the only pictures we are getting. We've just moved away from the audio because these are looped pictures. The Prime Minister will be doing the Jalabhisheka and this is a representative deity or a Shivalinga that is now being prayed to and revered. This is the Utsava Murti, if I may say, or the Utsava Linga in this case because it is Shiva. There is no bodily human representation of Shiva. There is a story of that too. But more importantly, the stone itself is considered divine. And in the ancient practices, there was no Murti Puja, there was the Linga Puja which happened. Even with Vishnu, it is Shaligrama or a stone which is blessed and which is divine. So you will find these representations in some of the older temples in Bharat too. So there is a lot that can be spoken about, but let's turn the focus back onto the reason why Somnath was important for the invaders to destroy, and Somnath is important for those who hold on to Bharat civilization and identify themselves as Bharatiya, to protect, to bring about that resilience and resolve that every time our civilization is being attempted to be erased, there will be people who will stand tall, who will give up, and who will drop the book and Shastra and pick up the weapon or the Shastra in order to defend what is Sanatan, what is supposed to be knowledge, not of the past, not of the present, not of the future, but eternal knowledge. Let's go back to Sandeep Singh, Ami Ganatra, and also Puja Swamiji, if he is willing to speak now. Sandeep Singh is with us. Sandeep Singh, you have authored the book on temple economics and you've also chronicled Somnath. So let's try and understand from you what you view this occasion as, the commemoration of 1000 years of the fight for Somnath, the fight to protect Somnath.
Thank you, Anandji. The first thing that comes to my mind is that Somnath was never won over. Though they attacked, they destroyed it, but they were never able to win over it. And in fact, Muhammad Ghori lost to Queen Naiki Devi when he had come to attack Somnath. So Somnath is a story of resilience, and that stands tall. And the second part is that we must take a oath, a vow, that no more. We as a civilization should not allow that mandir to be attacked again after this. We need to become so mighty that a fear should stuck in the mind and heart of any potential invader. And that's a very important part, and that's what in fact Ajit Dovalji also mentioned in one of his talks yesterday, that as a civilization we need to avenge it, and we need to become so strong that so nobody should think again of attacking Somnath. And also why Somnath was attacked and what is the link with economics. We generally confuse the temple revenue or a mandir's revenue with the economy, but economics is far beyond that. If you look, there is a pillar in Somnath Mandir which says that from that point till Antarctica there is no land mass in between. Now imagine somebody doing it centuries back. Even today going to Antarctica, it is said it's more expensive, more difficult than going to the moon. But somebody went all the way there and came back, and I'm sure few people went to validate that. It means that our ancestors were so strong not only in shipbuilding but also in the voyages in the sea, and they could do the trade in the sea. So they ruled the sea, and that is why maybe Indian Ocean is named after India, because our ancestors ruled the seas. They had the knowledge of shipbuilding and navigation, and that also made a lot of people uncomfortable around the world. And that was also another reason why Somnath was attacked, because that put India's dominance over sea.
But in terms of erasing a particular mindset and a narrative, something that was that's been taught to perhaps at least 4 generations now since independence, that Bharat lost, Bharat succumbed, Bharat could not show the resilience. Will that change now going forward, Sandeep Singh?
Yes, it has to, and it is changing, and I keep telling people that we must understand that we are the only living civilization today in the world. People today live in Egypt, but they don't know who built pyramid, or they can't build another pyramid or why it was built. But we have mandirs like Somnath or Brihadeshwar, we know why it was built, we still pray there, and we can still build another mandir similar to that, and we have just done one in Ayodhya. So we are a living civilization. Yes, it's a fact that we have shrunk, but any civilization which is so old will face some, wear and tear. But again, now we are at the cusp of it, and we will regrow from here, and that is what we are seeing it happening. And it's not only today. I think this journey started from the beginning when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and K.M. Munshi thought of reviving Somnath Mandir. And that's the journey has started, and today we see more and more youngsters are going to Mandir. They understand why this civilization is important, why this culture is important, why mandirs are important. And I am very happy that today with talking about Somnath Mandir, another generation or another lot of youth will understand the importance of our cultural value, will stand by it.
The Prime Minister has also taken a meeting to improve the infrastructure and also the amenities to facilitate more devotees and to ease the devotees' arrival at Somnath. On an average, 92 to 97 lakh devotees have been visiting Somnath ever since post-COVID. I think 2020, if memory serves me right, that's the data, that's the number. But these people, and the devotees who come to the temple, do they go back educated? Yes, there should be a certain level of spiritual elevation, but there also has to be a certain amount of itihasa education. Is that possible, or will that have to now go back into correction of the textbooks and go back into basic learning, elementary learning in our schools? Sandeep Singh. Temple economics is not part of detailed study in economics question, or even in history.
So I'm glad that you raised this question, and things are changing very fast. I've been going to institutes where students are so eager to learn about the temple economics or mandir based economics, and things will change, and not only in the textbook, but we have to train the guides, we have to educate the people, and there should be, every mandir need to have a museum which talks about honestly about the history of it and how it's impacting the local people who live around it and the local ecosystem, how it's contributing. So that part needs to be well documented at every place, and it needs to be well displayed also. And that is the most important part, that we need to start training a lot of people who work as a guide, who can talk about the history of the mandir and how it has impacted the local people in terms of economy, in terms of culture, because all this put together creates our civilization. So Somnath's history is not about attacks, it is about resilience, fighting back, defeating the invaders, and how people as from every walk of life have always come forward to defend the Somnath Mandir. And all these things will make sure that no invader in future thinks of attacking the mandir, because there will be an awakened society living around the mandir and they will be standing for it.
True.